What's up, man? You rocking with the rock star chef, Chef Cloud 9, Justin Cloud, and this is my story. My name is Justin Cloud, and I was born in Germany, Heidelberg, Germany, 1982, and it's a long story, but I'm gonna try to keep it in a nutshell. I was born and adopted at birth to a loving family based out of Columbus, Ohio. Sheila and Jimmy Cloud, shout out to them. They already had two boys, 3 and 4. And it always puzzled me when I found out that I was adopted. I think my mother told me at 9, and I didn't quite understand what it meant because I always felt like I was a part of the Cloud family from birth to the time she told me. So when she told me, I was like, what do you mean y'all not? What do you mean y'all not my mom and dad? But after a while, thinking about it, it kind of made sense because I've always felt like I stood out, not just at home, but everywhere I went. It just felt like I didn't fit in and I was longing to fit in. But when I was adopted, it was during a period of time where, things were a little bit low in hostility, a lot of peace in the world. I grew up in the 80s. Thundercats, Voltron, come on, man. That was the dope part of America by then. But my mother told me this story. I think I turned 23. She told me this story about how I got into America. And it has a lot to do with my name. My dad said he named me Justin because I made it into his family and America just in time. To explain that, this is the story my mother told me. I was working on getting my citizenship because I guess paperwork wasn't all the way right. So my mom had to go to court, and she said that she said she had my oldest brother, sitting in a chair beside her. I think my middle brother was laying on her lap, and she had me in her hand, and she said the judge was looking at her and was like, Mrs. Cloud, I don't see all the proper paperwork to have this child in America, and I have every right to send him back. And this was the first time I had somebody fight for me, for my life. And it made a very big impact. She said once she heard that, she had stood up. She woke my middle brother up and put him in the chair next to my oldest brother. And she had me in her hands, and she stood up and she looked at the judge and she said, ma'am, unless you have a jail cell big enough for me and my 3 sons, you're not sending nobody anywhere. And I don't know if you ever had a praying grandmother, but that was my version of a praying grandmother because my mom went to fight for me, and I love her so much for that. To already have 2 boys and then adopt another one at birth, not knowing what you're going to get out of this baby, it's a big sacrifice. So my dad said he named me Justin because I made it in just in time. So fast forward a little bit, let me talk about the other side of that family. I was adopted from a family by the name of Payne, Payne. And after meeting my mother, after so many years, my biological mother, she told me some of the stories that the family had been through. So it's safe to say that that family had been through every bit of their last name, which is Payne. So you can see how my story is kind of building up already. I went from just in pain to just in cloud. And that's the mark of the beginning of the chef we know right now, the rock star chef.
Yeah, she don't know nothing about internet, nothing. She did that though. I'm like, really? You get out of here. All right. All right, here we go. 1, 2.
So, the Cloud family, man, for me to explain it.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put down.
So to kind of explain who I am to you guys, I must explain where I come from. And in saying that, I must explain my family, the Cloud family. If you can picture a baby boy coming into the world, not knowing or feeling the love of his mother and longing to be a part of something, it was a blessing to be given to the Cloud family because it's all I ever experienced was love. I often explain it as I came from a place of no love and was gifted all the love that I needed in my life. Kind of felt like God knew I was going to struggle with finding my place with people or finding how I was going to fit in with people. And cooking helped me with that. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just focus on the Cloud family. They're awesome. My two brothers, James and John, my mom, Sheila, my sister, Samantha, and my Superman, James Cloud. My dad was the only boy. Actually, the Cloud name was going to end with him if he didn't have any boys, and now he has so many boys attached to the Cloud name. I grew up trying to mimic after my dad. My dad is like 6'3", 6'4", a basketball god where he's from. I mean, high school, grew up. When you look at the newspaper clippings after he beat whatever high school, it didn't say his high school name. It says Jim Cloud clips the Razorbacks. Yeah, he was that bad. He went to a little bit of college, the man. Went into the military, traveling around playing basketball, the man. I often wish he would have coached because I know basketball is his first love. But my mom has an OR tech. So I'm just kind of like building the premises of our household. We had hard times in our house, but it made us grow together. It made us a very tight-knit family. We always had some family over, some other kids over, and it was all love. Also raised in the church. Christian household. I promise you, I think every family has went through it. You got dropped off on Friday. You was at choir rehearsal on Saturday, 3 times on Sunday. Don't let there be no revival because you there all week. But that had a major part in my upbringing because well, I'll just explain it. I was adopted, and all of this is playing through my head my whole life. I thought it was weird. I just chalked it up as weird. But once I received salvation, Christ as my Lord and Savior, I was real young. It made me feel some type of way knowing that when you get saved, you're adopted into a royal family. So that was my first eye opener that I wasn't going to be normal. And then the second clue was, I mean, look at my initials, JC, raised in a Christian household. My two older brothers is James and John. Right. We didn't plan this, but also even down to my sister. My mom had two boys. I believe the doctor told her she couldn't have any more kids, or I believe she had her, as she says, her tubes tied, clipped, and burnt. But all my young life, I just spoke things into existence. At 3, the age of 3, my mom said I went to a bank with her one day, and some white lady was standing next to us, and I just tugged on her dress. Hey, my mom is about to have me a baby sister. And she was like, just stop. Just stop that. Stop lying to that lady. I can't have no babies. But the crazy thing is, 10 years later, she became pregnant. And she had a miscarriage, and we thought that it was over. Well, after the miscarriage, a couple months later, my baby sister Samantha, she was on her way, and that's my prodigal sister right there. Love her to death. So as you can see, it seems like the universe, God, whoever you believe in, it seems like they're stacking up everything for the betterment of my future. But this is where the hard part is. Not knowing who I am is what was causing me to stumble. Not knowing that I already fit in or that I was good enough for where I was at. I was looking at the people saying, why don't you receive me, when it was me projecting me not receiving me. So growing up, I had to learn tough love. I had to learn isolated love, learn how to love myself by myself, but never lacked love at all. Even when I was upset, down, it was the small things that my mom and dad did. My dad had a commercial that made me laugh all the time. It was the old Payday, the commercial. And he would call from Korea and be like, eat a lot of peanuts. And me being a little baby, I'd be like, choo-choo. My mom, she just tickled me and kissed me all over my face, and I'd stop being mad. But the Cloud household has been a life in heaven for me. And if you could see how my story is building, I guess this is the perfect time for a little catastrophe. Not knowing who I was, it caused me to stray away from my faith. I was modeling after people that I felt had power, strength, authority, and I was led astray a little bit. I got into some bad situations. I'll just leave it at that. And I realized that it was all about me in those situations. I had to learn the hard way because I put myself in situations, and in those situations, I couldn't look for nobody to come save me. Because as you can see, I came into the world by myself. And that's kind of how I've lived my life. It's been hard to reach out to people for help. If I was going through, I felt like it was my own journey or my own quest to walk through so I could learn. But really, I was trying to realize where I fit in. And I think that's been my struggle, learning to where I fit in. I've done many things, worked many jobs, so cars, insurance, life and death, health, car insurance, been in the military, boxed, was about to go MMA, but my mom said no. She said, nah, you done been hit in the head enough times. So no, we're not gonna do that. Use your hands for something else. And at one time I was doing positive hip hop, gospel, inspirational hip hop. And my name was Trizzy Triumph. And I got I got the name from Psalms 92:4, and David was saying, I triumph through the works of my hands. And when I read that, it kind of just stood out to me, like, what am I doing with my hands? What am I doing with my hands? And once I started looking at my hands, that's when I knew what I was here for. I'm sorry if it get a little emotional, but cooking means a lot to me. Following my mom and my aunts and my cousins that have passed, watching them gave me the interest in cooking. And being that my two older brothers were too old for me to follow, I had to stay back, so I stayed in the kitchen. But cooking has been my peace. Cooking has kept me out of a lot of situations. I can honestly say cooking has been my savior, because if I haven't been cooking, I don't really know what I would be doing right now. Cooking is not just cooking to me, it's like a religion. It makes me reconsider other people before me. It makes me want to grow. It makes me want to learn. But more importantly, cooking has freed me. I don't have to be locked up in my head anymore. Cooking is the only thing that has really showed me that people do really rock with me. You know, it gets lonely sometimes when you're focused on your craft, because no one is there to understand you, or no one's there to spend that time with you, because that's your time alone. That's your building time. But I'm grateful for that time, because it has built me. And I don't see me stopping at all. It's made me a better man. It's made me a better businessman. It's opened my eyes up to so many different possibilities. And at the end of the day, I stick my chest out, because I have a skill. I don't have to run to nobody else for a paycheck. I can create whatever I want. I'm sovereign. And this is what the Cloud household has made. I just love to cook. And that's it. So rock with me. I'm known as the rock star chef, Justin Cloud. So, like, you know, I know I didn't go into the struggles too much, but the main struggle I had was actually just being a black boy in Fayetteville.
My bad. Tell me.
So, like, not to get in too much of the struggles, but one of the major struggles that I had was being a little black boy in Fayetteville, man. Like, I really wanted to do a lot. I wanted to be great, and it just seems like I was stuck in Fayetteville. I finally found my passion in cooking, and no school, no training. Thank God for the manager. I believe it was Holiday Inn Bordeaux. No, it's Holiday Inn off Cedar Creek Road. Never cooked in a kitchen before, and I was like, look, just give me a chance. Let me cook for you. And I promise you won't be disappointed. But I never went to school. I actually had to watch videos, buy expensive culinary college books, and read for myself to actually acquire the skill that I have today, man. Like, I had to put the little me on the back burner or the innocent me on the back burner and run through all of the pain that I was being dealt at the particular time. Like, I'm still the same me. I haven't changed at all. Like, you go back and you look at pictures of little me, face, expression, smile, everything about me, still the same. I won't allow anything to taint me. You know what? As a matter of fact, check this out. You see that? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, it's same me. I haven't changed at all. And that's what I've worked on all my life. I don't want you to get a product of my environment. I don't want you to get anything tainted because that's not how my cooking is. I want you to get the real me. So yeah, that's a part of my struggle. I never went to school, or I never had a chance to go to school. Still would love to go to school. I think I would graduate with honors, probably cum laude on top of that. But yeah, nothing's stopping me with this cooking thing. Nothing. Not another chef, not me, not situations in life. Nah, this is me. This is real cooking.